Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and another episode of Beryl's got an oil leak. Yeah, Beryl's got another oil leak. This one's not too bad. It looks like the sump pan. When I built this engine, I must have contaminated the silicone when I put the sump on, and it's just weeping at the back. I had her running in the workshop the other day. She hasn't run for ages. And I left her overnight, come back, and there's a pool of oil on the floor. Not a big pool, just, little drip. But I've had a crawl underneath and you can see where the oil's been leaking out the back of the sump pan. So I need to change the oil. So we're doing an oil change. We're going to drop the sump pan off, clean it, reseal it, put it back on. Not a big job, pain in the arse though. So let me grab another camera and I'll show you where the oil leak is underneath. Under the truck, as you can tell, looking at the sump. Now, I can't get the camera in. It looks like where I did that last oil leak from the timing gear, that's dry, that's good. So that hasn't reoccurred so far. Now, the sump pan is fairly dry, except for here. Can you see? So this is the back of the flywheel housing, and it's dry all the way along here except for that bit. Now it's been leaking down there, and that's directly under the oil leak. It comes down there, across there, and drips right off the where it's bolted onto the support. So yeah, we're going to fix that, and hopefully this camera's recording. Yeah, everything else under here, guys, looks pretty good. The even the transfer box. I have had some issues with this transfer box that I did off camera. Now, when they reconditioned this box, the output drive flanges here and here at the front, they used old ones. They put old ones back in, so I've had to pull these and put new ones in with new seals. And yeah, so there's a blob of oil, but I think that can be from changing it. But other than that, I had no issues, but I think I will upgrade that to an Ashcroft's one in the future. I have got an oil leak off the gearbox, which I think is coming from the filler plug. I'll have to have a look at that. I don't know where else that, because it's not above it, it's below it. And I think that's leaking as well. The drain where is the filter behind that one? Yes, the filter's behind that one. I need to change that anyway. I need to do all the oil on it. So yeah, thinking of draining oil. Let's get the camera around here. We need to get that sump nut out and drain this oil. Now we have got a few other obstacles in the way when we do this sump. Now let me just show you this. No, I'm wrong, aren't I, with that? I've just thought that is the drain. That's the filter. That's the filter housing. So it still needs changing. But yeah, these obstacles. Get back under it. As a lot of you know from probably from the other channel, this is an engine conversion on this truck, and we've got this funky engine mount in the way. So when we've got to actually take these 3 bolts out and then take these 3 bolts out to actually take the sump off, you have to sort of split the bottom of the mount, which is fine. We can do that. That's no problem. It just makes it a bit more fiddly. So yeah, like I said, let's get this sump nut out and get the filter off, because I am waiting for the new ones to come. But the rest of that engine looks bone dry. Maybe I know what I'm doing. No, don't be silly. Don't try bigging yourself up. Okay, let's get this oil in. Oh God, I must have been feeling brave when I put that in. Oil looks good. No sparkly bits, that's always a good sign. I think this oil's only done about 500 miles. So it's should still be in pretty good condition. Well, we're going to leave that to drain for a bit. Get all the oil out of the sump pan and then we'll drop the sump pan off. And I'll have to get some brake clean everything off, degrease tool, get this glued back on. Hopefully my oil will turn up in about half an hour. Something about watching oil run out. Right, I've just taken the oil filter off because I couldn't actually film. Well, I couldn't get the camera in and get the oil filter off, so I was just taking the oil filter off. Everything's nice and clean up there. Like I said before, no sparkly bits, which is good. So now I'm going to get those 3 bolts out of the side of that mount. I think you can probably see them from there. Let me just move the camera for you. Yeah, these 3 here, we can get those out. And then we can take the sump pan off. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to get a 2-post lift. And the right size spanners. Yep. Ow, they were tight. About the 3rd time today. I don't know if that picked up on the camera, but that's a Chinook flying over the house. Should I be worried? Right, the rest of those can come off with a knot gun. And one thing about this is there is a load of washers above here. Oh no, there isn't. There's actually spaces. Oh, that's good. Okay, there's like little individual spaces. I thought they were packed out with washers, but they machined some spaces. That's fine, that's good. Right, I'm going to put that safe. I know this is not a good place to film and the lighting's not brilliant, guys, but I've just got to take all those bolts out now and we'll get the sump pan off. So we're back in a second because it's really difficult to film and take all these out. I know this is a terrible shot, guys, and the lighting is awful, but this is unbolted. Oh no, it isn't. There's a bolt in it. I'm not going to get that off because I've missed one. I've missed a bolt here. Hang on a second. Oh yeah, that's well glued on. Right, I may have to spend some time trying to lever this off. What I don't want to do is bend it, so I'm going to have to have a really thin blade out. There's not many places I can get it in either. Okay. Really could have done without this leaking. Let's give it a tap with the rubber hammer, see if it breaks free. I think the answer's going to be no. Okay, this is going to be a pig. I'm going to have to just work on it for a while. Yeah, you're going to have to leave it with me, guys. I'm going to have to work on this for a bit. try and get it off from the front edge, because I need to get all the way around it and the camera's in the way. So I'll be back in a minute. After much hammering and much swearing, I got this off. That was well stuck on, guys. Right. We're cleaning that strainer. Oh, it's not too bad, that'll clean up dead easy. I can't actually see where it was leaking around here. Is the silicone? Ah, the silicone's free. It hasn't stuck. Okay, we'll get that cleaned up and I'll have a squiz around the inside of that engine now it's all running. Cool. Right, let's get this all cleaned up. I've made a quick clean up of the gasket surface. I've got no brake clean, so I can't degrease it properly, but I've also haven't got the silicone to put it on with, so it doesn't really matter. I'll get them all together. But yeah, there we go. Everything seems nice and tight in the engine, it's all clean, so that's good. So right, I'm going to sort out the sump pan now. Like I said, I haven't got the gasket, the silicone to put it on, so yeah, that can just sit and drip for a bit. Well, there's the sump pan out as well. I'm going to wire wheel this now, and the silicone that I'm using to put it back on it with is Loctite SI 5980. That is the exact stuff that you buy from Land Rover, and that's my front door. So yeah, that's what you need to put these back on with. And I tell you, they're hard to get off as well. And I can think I can see where it's been leaking as well. Right, I'll get this cleaned up. So that's all cleaned up now, and I'm just checking it for flatness to put it back on, because I don't want it, you know, obviously to leak again. So that's a little bit crimped in there. It's been damaged in the past, but it is flat, it will pull up. I really don't want to have to buy another sump pan. So I had to look how much they are. They're 115 quid. So I think that one will be good. Once they're, all I've done is put a round punch in these, because when you bolt them up it crimps them out flat. What you want to do is knock them back so that they're not already flat. You want them to be able to pull up. So I've just knocked those back, the ones that were really pulled through. But it seems level. It's all, there's no massive gaps in it. Obviously there's a little gap in it, but you know, that's what silicone's for, isn't it? And I don't know if I said the name right when I just read it out. It's Loctite SI 5980. So is that going to focus? Come on, you can do it, camera. Yeah. SI 5980, because I think I said SR. But yeah, that's the stuff you need for gluing these back on with. Trust me, they're hard to get off once you've glued them on. Don't try to put a gasket in one. They don't have gaskets. They have silicone. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That should pull up fine. Yeah, be good. Right, nothing else I can do now. I've only got that much silicone left and I need a full tube, and I've got no oil, so we shall wait for the post. Parts have turned up. I've got my silicone, and now it's just time to put this back on. So out with the brake clean. You gotta love brake clean, haven't you? That'll do. As well clean inside the pan as well. There's lots of bits of silicone in there. I have got a clean cloth somewhere. Right, clean cloth. There we go. It's £5 worth of brake clean gone. So now I've got that clean, I'm going to put a band of silicone on the underside, and you know, just a very thin smear on the mating surface on the block, and I'm going to put the rest on this, smush it up and torque it up. It's the opposite of the way it came out, so it's like just a case of torquing it up. I can't remember what the torque settings are. I think they're 10 Newton meters, but I will go and check. But the it isn't a lot on these, because obviously they're glued on, not held on any other way. So I've already sprayed the underneath with brake clean, so I'll start putting some sealant on that. I might as well use up that half tube first. So like I said, I've cleaned all these mating surfaces, so now I'm going to fill these holes up at the back. It's really awkward to film under here, guys. Fill these up, smear this out with silicone, follow the bolt hole pattern, and get this smash back on. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I'm just going to get the new tube of silicone, you know. This is getting a bit stiff. Oh yeah, we definitely need the new tube of silicone. Oh man, that's hard to get out. Right, let's get out from under it and we'll put some silicone on the on the pan. It's a nice new soft tube of silicone. Right. a good line of cakes as well, you know. She'll not be skimping on the back seal here where it was leaking. Well, I hope it was leaking there. I can't see that it was coming from anywhere else. May have gone over the top with the amount, but I'm also not going to let this, I'm going to let this go off completely before I put the oil in. So I'm probably going to leave it overnight. So I'm not worried about silicone getting into the engine, because this will be off. Most of it will squish out the outside. And funnily enough, last time I used it, I must have used about the same amount, because I've got exactly the same amount left. Right, shove that on the shelf. Right, there you go. That's what I'm going for. Right, I'm going to get that on. Now I don't know if I can get in there with the camera while I'm putting it on. I know I couldn't get in while I was taking it off, and I really do want to get that on, so I'll show you when it's, you know, up there. That's the first part done. It's torqued up now. It was 25 Newton meters, guys, if you doing one of these. But yeah, there you go, all torqued up. I've just got to put that piece in now, which is part of the engine conversion mount. So I'll just put that in. We're done under it, except for a fuel filter, oil filter. There we go. I knew I'd remember what it was called. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully it won't leak this time. Well, that's the sump back on, guys. I showed you as much of that as I really could. There is no room to get the camera in and show you, so it isn't that hard a job. You know, you've just got to take the bolts off, get it away, put it back on. So I'm going to stick a new oil filter on, quality Britpart one. Ooh, new sump nut washers, awesome. Put that on. I'm going to leave that 24 hours. Might have been the mistake I made before, was doing it and not leaving it long enough for it to cure. So I'm going to leave that overnight to cure, and we'll put some oil in and test run it and see if it leaks. So until tomorrow. So before I put this oil filter on, I'm going to partially fill it. I'm not going to fill it completely. I always end up spilling it on myself. About 3/4 full. Yeah, a little bit over 3/4 full, that'll do it. Right, let's go and wind that on. And that's all we can do while the silicon's drying. These only need to be done at hand tight. That'll do it. That's it. Going to leave this to dry now. Right, that's been overnight. So that silicon's well dry now. Just put some oil in this. It's not that exciting, is it? It's we just got to put some lubricant in it, and I can't see it leaking again. Unless it's leaking from somewhere else, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Right, let me get a gallon of oil. Fresh lubricant. See how much of this I can spill. None. 4 litres. I did put the sump nut back in, that's always a plus. I have done that before, you know. Started tipping the oil in, forgot to put the sump nut back in. At least that should be on the stick, right? And we know the oil filter's nearly full. I'm really tight. I want to get every bit out of there. It's too bloody expensive to leave any in the container. We're on the minimum. I spilt it. It's like long range pouring from this distance. Another half a litre should do it. Oh yeah, that'll be about right. Might need to top it up a little. Well, fire it up, eh? And there you have it, guys. Resealing a sump pan, yet another oil leak on Beryl. I've topped the oil off, it's fine. As you saw, we had it running for a couple of seconds. It isn't leaking yet. What it needs is a good run out to see if it is going to leak. But what I want to do first is change the oil in the gearbox and transfer box. And that'll be in a different episode. So that brings this one to an end. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.